Hello. How you doing today? We're doing great. Hope we're doing well. Hope you're doing super swell. I am back to ramble, and I think this week, I don't know, I got to this place where I just really don't want to deal with my hair anymore. The color, the constantly redying it. So I think I'm just going to finally get rid of the green, which I've had it for about a year now, on and off. I've had my green hair for on and off years. It's been other colors too, but I don't know. Ever since I watched SLC Punk, I just really I don't know. I've always loved, obviously Matthew Lillard with blue hair is just, I don't know. I really love that movie and I really love, I don't know if it's like I really like punk life. Like it's like that's I'm a rebel, okay? I like to rebel against everyone, even myself, all right? Um, I will not conform, not even to me, which brings me to, um, kind of the topic that I was thinking about talking about was self-trust. My journey back to trusting myself slowly. It's still a work in progress, but it's something that I'm actively working on is really listening to myself and making decisions that align with the self-trust that I want to really build within me. Um, I took it wasn't something that happened overnight, losing trust within myself. It was something that happened over years. I kept making decisions, against myself, in spite of myself, instead of with myself, instead of actually listening to me. I was making decisions that I believed were better, for myself because I believed I knew better. And I know that sounds weird and it sounds interesting. What I mean by that is sometimes, obviously, your body will go, well, I kind of just want to rest. And then you're just like, no, you have to keep going. I just like, can you just like give me a minute to, let's just like take a break. Let's just breathe. Let's just stand back and really evaluate the big picture. And then maybe we can come up with an easier way to get there. And it's like, no, we need to do this now. I need to get this done now and I need to push myself. I need to work harder. I need to do more. I need to become someone else in order to, you know, get to where I want to be in life. And at that time, and I'm not going to lie, even to this day, it's like, I'm just here. I'm kind of just, I didn't know where I wanted to be. And it's still like that. That's not changed. I'm just here and I'm just experiencing this life. And But it was those moments that really broke me down from trusting myself, and it's happened for so long is I really believed I had to make choices. For instance, I would say one of my relationships that I got into, and I'm gonna be completely honest because I think that it's important to it was important to note. My internal being was like, "I don't trust this person." Like, I don't trust them. And I went ahead and went into this relationship because I believed that this person would help me escape this life that I wanted to escape from. And by that I mean like it was more um you're always taught well, especially females, it's like, "Oh, you have to in order to get somewhere, you really need to marry somebody with money or get with somebody with money, and, you know, that's something that I was taught, so I ignored all not warning signs, it wasn't he was not a monster or anything, but it was just, so interesting that that relationship did not have the longevity that I was hoping for because I didn't go into that relationship thinking, "Oh, you know, we are compatible," or, it's because I was still to me, I was still trying to fix whatever was going on, you know, inside of me, and they were too, like, they had their own stuff going on too, but it's just so interesting that my internal being was like, "Yeah, I don't trust this, I don't want this, like, can we just not do this?" And I was like, "Yeah, no, we're gonna do it." And it did not obviously last because it was just compatibility issues. We were not, compatible. We were both looking for something that we believed we both, lacked. And really, it's the idea that, you're not whole by yourself, which is another realization, which is kind of a separate realization that I kind of had on my own. Um, and it is more so interesting to me how we are not almost, but the way society kind of has, you know, this idea that you have to be hyper independent when it comes to external things. So it's like you have to do everything on your own. You're no one if you don't do it on your own. You have to work for everything on your own. You can't rely on others. Which is not to me personally, that's not how I believe we were created. I believe it was, uh, something created to be with community in mind, with others in mind, um, especially externally. But then the funny thing is, to me, and not everyone might experience it this way, but when it comes to internal, that's where we feel like we need others. We need others to fix us. And so I would look outside of myself, to hope somebody would heal what was going on with inside of me. And I thought that was so interesting that I had that thought that I have to do everything on my own. I have to build everything on my own and, live this life on my own. And anything that I'm trying to, do in my life, I don't want outside influences, you know, anywhere. And this is just how I experienced it. But then when it came to internal things, I was really more relying on others to, you know, make me feel better, to not feel, but fill um those gaps within my own internal being. And I always just thought that was to me is so interesting because when I not always because it wasn't something that I was just, thought for years. This was something that was very recent. But it is something that I just sat there and I was like, wow, I've been putting myself through a lot because I had a belief that now I don't believe in that belief. I believe that it is a lot of my internal healing, internal work is something that I have to do. I have to sit with myself. I have to acknowledge myself. I have to, you know, talk to myself and be honest with myself. And there's nothing wrong with that. I can't ask someone else to heal me when they don't even know what's going on. Only I know what's going on. Only I know what I've been through and how I felt through it. Um, No one else can feel the way I feel about something. No one else can really pinpoint what is going on, only I can do that. It's kind of like when you're in a relationship and somebody sends you a text message. It's not so a lot of times, like myself, I would attach myself to someone because I thought it was them that was creating the feeling. It was them that was making the relationship magical. But then the funny part is they gave me a text, I gave it life. I gave it context, I gave it a perspective, I gave it meaning. So a lot of times, especially in relationships, people touch your soul, but you're the one who creates that entire ecosystem where they can come and visit. And, if it's not, right, okay, well then go back out. But, it's still those moments where it's like you're the one that gives that relationship life, and you are the one who makes everything so magical because it's all about your perception and per how you perceive it. That's why some people can walk out of the same relationship and go, "Wow, that was terrible." And then the other person was like, "Oh, I really miss them. Like, they were so wonderful." And it's just that interesting part because it's like you're the one who makes it. It's your experience that makes the relationship. It's not that person, it's you, which is another realization that I came to, and which has helped me out a lot because, I would feel like, "Oh, I really miss that." But it's like, "Oh, but that came from me, that didn't come from them." They just provided a space, and then I, within my own self, gave it meaning, the meaning I wanted to give it. Now obviously everyone provides their own, it's their world. It's their world. I'm trying to slow down. It's kind of cold down here. My brain's like my mouth is like wanting to move faster, but everyone gives their own meaning to life, to their own life. And so that's also a very nice thing and why I really enjoy conversations, especially when people experience things differently, because it really helps me understand or at least try to put me in a place where I can see where they're coming from. So I do like that. But um all of that just to say that I lost track of my self-trust topic that I was talking about because those are some of the things that I really do enjoy talking about, and I really do, I don't know, just really thinking more in depth about my life and my journey and how I have gotten to this place and how I want to move forward. A lot of it is, choosing to really listen to myself moving forward, to sit with myself, to acknowledge myself and to say, "You know what, like we're good. We're gonna be fine." This is something that, it's every day that I work with and I work on, um, just to really honestly just listen to myself more, to hear what I am saying internally and not override it with thoughts or emotions and believe that there's something wrong with how I choose to do things because a lot of times it's going to be like, can we just slow down? We're not in a rush, we're not in a hurry. And I think that was one of the biggest parts for me is when I really did start to get gain my trust back with myself was really slowing down and trying not to rush through every aspect of my life, not trying to, and then acknowledging it and saying, like, okay, right now I'm feeling a lot. I need to slow down And instead of overriding it with, "We can't slow down, we gotta keep going, like, we're not gonna get anywhere if we slow down," and it's like, "But where are we going? Like, what is the rush? This is life. Like, enjoy the moment, enjoy living here." And it was those moments that I was like, "Okay, I really need to listen to what I'm saying and enjoy even that interaction with my internal self and say, yeah, like we're going to enjoy this journey even if it's not where we want to be, even if it's, which I genuinely think no one, not no one, that's I'm not going to assume but I think when you're in a moment in a place that you don't wanna be in, or you're in a place that you're currently in. I think there's some aspects of people that are just waiting to get to the next moment, and like myself, I really disliked where I was, um, and so I was always trying to get to the next place, to get to a space that felt more comfortable. But I was waiting on the space and not really creating that within my own self first. Just learning to breathe and learning to exist in a world that it's gonna go by. Things are going to happen. It's going to feel chaotic sometimes, or it's going to feel not chaotic. And probably chaotic for the most part, but and everything else outside of myself can happen, but it's really the internal that gives me the freedom. Like, we're going to be tied down by physical limitations. I always when I think about freedom, it's not an external freedom that I'm really wanting, it's more of an internal one, it's more of peace, it's more of knowing that I'm not controlled by my thoughts or my emotions, like, my thoughts can come and go, and I'm not sitting there thinking that I'm going to become my thoughts and my emotions arise, but it's not something I'm controlled by. And to really know that I'm just existing in this body with it feels like a ton of people in here. I'm just joking, not a ton, just maybe one other one. I'll say one other one. Sometimes I think three, but I don't know. Multiple people. We're all just vibing in this, this vessel, and we're having a great time, and, we're just trying. We're just trying to I don't know. I feel like this video made absolutely no sense. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I feel like I rushed majority of it because I was, like, trying to talk so not talk so fast because I don't think I talked extremely fast, but I hope that you can decipher, and if not, that's totally cool too. I think thoughts, and then I think thoughts about the thoughts that I think, and then the thoughts that think are more thoughts that keep thinking about I didn't even say I in any of that. I think I did at the beginning. But anyways, self-trust was the key to me making decisions and choices that I don't make choices and decisions that are out of panic anymore of like, "Oh my gosh, I gotta do this. Oh my gosh, this is so terrible." Now it's like, "Okay, I feel like this is too much for me right now, and I need to just reevaluate how I want to handle this. And I will really sit there and just feel my way through it and then decide based off of all of the information rather than just boom, I'm trying to get somewhere fast. I want to get somewhere super fast. And it's like, I don't care. Um, I like I like moving slowly. I like living slowly. I want to breathe slowly. I'm not in a hurry for this life to be over. I am not in a hurry for, the next year, the next phase. I'm not in a hurry for it because, every passing second is just 1 second closer to not being here. And I do enjoy living and I do enjoy the realizations. I don't always get them all of the time, but it is a fun part of life it's kind of like a game where it's like, okay, what is our thoughts going to be today? And how epic is it going to be if I have a breakthrough of some sort maybe it'll be something super profound or maybe it'll just be something as simple as just relaxing and not taking life so serious and enjoying playing video games because I do play them, just not as often, and I don't play well. So now it's just like, okay, I play Fortnite, which is like no point, but it is fun. I do like it. I do like playing video games, so I don't take life too serious. Just serious enough where I show myself that I care enough about myself to make this experience better for myself. So that way I don't pass on I don't want to pass on traumas, I don't want to pass on pain, I don't want to pass on anger. I mean anger is a natural part of being human, but I don't want to pass on anger's reasons to be angry. Um like I can be angry without it being tied to something. Anger can arise and then and the feeling can arise, but I don't have to react from it. And that's really the shift. And just trusting myself to not feel like I have to become someone else in order to, I can have those emotions and those feelings and those thoughts and trust myself enough to make the right decision, and I do trust myself. That's something that I had to really get to that place of self-trust. And I'm excited that I got there and I'm getting there. It's not like 100%, I trust myself, but no, I do trust myself more. It's just now it's more like, okay, where are we going to, not where are we going to go, but like when situations arise, how are we going to handle it? Because, it's still that moment of, I do have moments of fear still. Obviously, that's not going to go away. I'm human. I have emotions it's going to come up. I'm not going to erase those. And I think that it's important that, we acknowledge that, we are human. We're here having a physical experience as human and to enjoy the experience and to um, realize that we're going to have emotions, but it's our responsibility to look look at how we're reacting to them. And on that note, I hope you have the greatest rest of your day, and I hope your mind is kind to you today. And that's all I have to say. Okay, bye.